Last time, we saw the final encounter with Frieza, although he wasn't the last villain that everyone would have to face together. There is one more obstacle standing in their way, and that obstacle is also a Saiyan, Cumber. So how's that gonna go? We'll be covering all that and more in this finale of What If the Saiyans Were Good. Cumber continues growing further in Super Saiyan. Everyone by now is already weakened by Frieza and their previous fights with Turles and Cumber as well. Shallow and Giblet are in the best conditions because they arrived here latest. But with Cumber getting a second wind and being that strong, they're not too sure what to do here as their next option. Cumber first looks over at Turles, then launching a concussive blast, setting Turles flying across the planet. Turles is too weak-minded to be his ally. Even though Turles only temporarily teamed up with the Saiyans just to fight Frieza, Cumber thinks he was using them as a crutch. He shouldn't have done that. He could have handled that alone, and he's clearly hesitating against the Saiyans as well, otherwise he wouldn't have done that. He's glad Frieza came here. It showed him the light and helped him grow stronger. Now he knows Turles is not someone to be trusted. But more importantly, Cumber's grown from that experience, and he's going to use that power to wipe out the rest of the Saiyans for good. His ki dramatically surges, and everyone gets back up, quickly jumping into fight. From that nearby planet, a bunch of blasts are fired from Granola as well. Cumber simply turns around, launching his own blast, swallowing up Granola's attacks. Now, unlike Granola, his eyesight isn't good enough to tell him where Granola is and let him attack him directly. But you know what? If that guy's going to be a cowardly sniper, then Cumber will just get rid of him for good, charging up his own blast aimed in the general direction of the planet that Granola's on. He can't tell where he is, but this will wipe out the entire solar system and everything behind it. So, wherever Granola's hiding, he will be eliminated by this. Cumber launches the blast, but before it leaves the atmosphere, somebody teleports in front of it and then kicks it away. It's Broly, barely saving Granola in the process. Without hesitation, he then jumps in and starts wrestling with Cumber directly, as all the other Saiyans jump back. Cumber admires how tenacious this Saiyan is. He's strong, and he has power derived from rage, almost similar to him in a way. But still, he's too weak to win here. Look at him, trying to control his Saiyan nature. If he wants true power, he should let it take control of him instead. As the two struggle against each other, Broly then splits himself into multiple fighters. Now, these clones are all weak because Broly didn't want to split off too much of his power, but this is more of a distraction. Cumber doesn't know which one is the most powerful Broly, and they still attack him, but the main objective for this is different. Either way though, Cumber finally comes to see what Broly is. He's mutated because he has the blood of an evil Saiyan coursing through him, doesn't he? Yeah, that has to be it. The blood of an evil Saiyan in the body of a good Saiyan. And the reason he struggles for control so much is because that evil side tries to take over, but his good nature struggles for its own control too. Hence why he used to go berserk when trying to use his full power. It's very small, but Cumber could feel that evilness within his ki. And you know what? He sees an opportunity here. This could be good for something. He wonders if he could bring Broly to his side by amplifying that evil ki. And Paragus can't believe what he's hearing either. Is that really the case? He never even thought of it like that. But Cumber then sees that some of Broly's clones aren't actually attacking him. They're going over to the other Saiyans. The reason he split himself up is so he could actually heal the others, and Paragus ends up doing the same, figuring out what Broly's doing. Cumber then simply lifts a hand in the air, launching a blast that splits up and goes towards all the Broly clones, destroying them all. But it's already too late because Broly's healed the other Saiyans, although that doesn't really matter to Cumber. What he's more focused on now is Broly. You know, if he puts his evil ki into another Saiyan, maybe that'll make them go berserk, but especially someone like Broly, that might work out really well. That could amplify his evilness. He thinks it's long suppressed and it might not even be there anymore. But whatever it takes, he'll make Broly give in to his evil nature. And then, the next Saiyans. Broly and Paragus have now lost a lot of their energy because they spent all that healing others, but at least this means the others are healed a fair amount. And Paragus continues going around healing people who haven't been fully healed. He eventually finds Turles as well. Turles is pretty injured and mostly in disbelief. He can't believe what he's unleashed either. He knew Cumber was a loose cannon, but to think he turned on him directly. Paragus is surprised he didn't realize this before. He should have known when he freed that guy, because Paragus doesn't even know what his deal is, and he could just tell by looking at him. That's not a guy to trust. Turles thought it would work out, but clearly, the two of them don't have the same goals, even if he once thought they did. Turles is an evil Saiyan by blood, but he's not a mindless monster like that just destroys everything in his path just for the sake of power. Well, he kinda does, but he had a purpose for getting that power. It was mainly to defeat Frieza, and just to prove the superiority of the Saiyans. But Frieza's gone. Paragus doesn't get this. The Saiyans were fine as a peaceful race. Why must Turles go on this conquest? What's with this ideal that he's so much better than everyone for being an evil Saiyan, or just a Saiyan in general? He has way too much pride in himself, and it ended up nearly leading him to his death. Turles still has value to the other Saiyans, but now, he's kind of rethinking things, especially after seeing them in person. He didn't want to go against them in the first place, but he shouldn't have brought Cumber back. That was inherently going against the Saiyans in general. Maybe the new way of Saiyan life isn't as bad as he thought. He thought they lost their way and became weak. But then another Saiyan butts in. Kakarot arrives. No, they didn't lose their way. Turles did. Clearly the path that these Saiyans have taken is the right path, and not the one that Turles took. And you know, if Turles really does value the Saiyans as a whole, he should prove that by fighting alongside them. Why fight against them? Cumber is the enemy here, and he's turned on Turles. There's no reason to be on his side anymore. And Turles can't believe it. The other Saiyans aren't like him at all, but they're still giving him a chance. They're good Saiyans fighting for survival. They finally got rid of Frieza, and they simply just want to bring all the other Saiyans back, at least the good ones. But they still haven't reached their true goal of survival until Cumber is dealt with. The only thing standing in the way of the Saiyans actually prospering is the fact that Cumber's around. Turles made things worse if anything. Bringing Cumber back is like working with Frieza. Both will lead to the full destruction of the Saiyans. But still, it's not over yet. Kakarot thinks Turles can change too. He's clearly hesitant about what he's done, and that's why they didn't kill him right away. Turles can't still make things right, but he needs to decide what he wants to do. Meanwhile, Cumber is still fighting Broly, and eventually he gives some of his evil ki to him. The evil ki begins to take over Broly. With any Saiyan, this would have the same effect, making them go berserk as they can't contain it, basically affecting them with the nature of an evil Saiyan just like he and Turles have. But for Broly it's different, somebody who already had issues controlling his rage and such. Sure, this means Cumber has to give away some of his ki, but still, this is a fine experiment. It'll be fun to see what the outcome of this is. As he lends Broly more evil ki, Broly's power then returns, and he goes berserk in the process. But Shallot and Giblet step in to intervene. Thankfully they didn't do the Super Saiyan God ritual on him because otherwise he would have been completely unstoppable right now with evil ki. Although it does make them wonder what evil ki would do if he were in a Super Saiyan God form right now. No point worrying about that. They need to fix Broly and stop Cumber as well. Broly begins to lose control as he struggles further, trying to regain his control back, and he fights Shallot and Giblet, while Cumber returns to fighting the other Saiyans all at once. Thankfully, Broly is pretty injured, and he lost a lot of power by healing the others, so this power-up from Cumber took a little bit of energy from Cumber, and it basically just restored Broly back to where he was before. Shallot and Giblet are two of the stronger Saiyans too, so maybe they could take him on alone. The rest of the group tries fighting off Cumber, but an unexpected ally joins. Turles re-enters the fight, having been healed by Paragus, agreeing with him and Kakarot. They're right, Cumber's in their way. And besides, what's the point of having Cumber around if Turles wants to be the strongest? He's another obstacle, just like Frieza, someone who he needs to defeat. Not just for his sake, but the sake of the Saiyans as a whole. He fights alongside the other Saiyans, and Cumber hates seeing this. He knew Turles was against him, but to see him fighting alongside the Super Saiyan gods, that's despicable. But Turles doesn't directly fight Cumber at first. He goes for Broly, simply placing a hand on him and absorbing all the evil ki that Broly took in, taking it for himself and using it to empower himself further. Broly returns back to normal as the ki surges through Turles. He controls it all for himself. The true nature of a Saiyan isn't to plow down everything in their way. He now sees what it is. Saiyans get their strength through tenacity and always aiming to improve. Besides, this fight is now a fight for survival for him as well. Cumber stands in his way too. And now he directly goes for Cumber. Cumber's now finally being pushed back. His own strength is being used against him because now it's fueling Turles. And all the other Saiyans can fully focus on him once more. Even with Broly and Paragus out of the fight, they now have the strength to back themselves up. Cumber tries to tap into more power as a Super Saiyan, but they're slowly chipping away at him. Vegeta wonders how this will go. He seems almost unstoppable, but these Saiyans have no limits. They can overcome unstoppable. And as they all fight together, Bardock asks Kakarot what he saw in Turles, and Kakarot says honestly, he's not sure. He could just feel that they could lead him down a better path, and it would be nice to have another strong ally like that too. He clearly was unsure, and Kakarot simply showing him the way. Granola is also still trying to provide support as well, although it's really hard from the planet he's on, but still, he does what he can. He's watching over everything, and even if he can't do much, he's not going to let his brothers die without at least trying. Frieza's gone, but this fight is his too. And thanks to Broly and Paragus, Vegeta is now fully healed again, and got a nice boost in power too, especially with how injured he was against Frieza. He powers up once more, showcasing an evolved version of Super Saiyan Blue, gained from the overflowing power that he had before, and he fights directly alongside Turles, the leader of the good Saiyans, and the person who tried to lead the evil Saiyans, now fighting hand in hand. Kakarot, Shallot, and Giblet join at the forefront as well. And Bardock tries to add some of his power too. 5 godly Super Saiyans fighting together, alongside an evil Saiyan using his power to fight another evil Saiyan. And all the Super Saiyan gods channel their energy together. It's not intentional either. It's almost like they accidentally perform another Super Saiyan god ritual, except this time, Cumber's the target. As they coalesce all of their power together, it's channeled into Cumber. It's amplified, and it's not something he could hold either. Instead, it's poison to him, the pure energy of all these godly Super Saiyans all at once, those with righteous hearts. Vegeta says this will be the last time history repeats itself. They're done staying trapped in the past. But once more, the good Saiyans will overcome the evil Saiyan. With one final push, all of their ki is channeled into Cumber, and Turles jumps back, almost affected by it as well. Cumber's power continues overflowing, and he can't even contain it anymore. There's an internal battle inside of him. The godly ki of the other Super Saiyans courses through his veins, destroying him from the inside. And then, that ki all spills out. There's a blinding light as Cumber explodes, finally at his limit, and unable to contend against this power all multiplied together. The Saiyans finally power down. The battle is seemingly done, and Beerus commends them, stepping in and congratulating them for winning 2 fights. Yeah, he's actually been here this entire time, watching from the atmosphere above. It was quite a spectacle. They forgot why he was there and they wonder why he didn't get involved. Well, this wasn't his fight, and besides, his rivals had this in the bag. This really served as proof of the Saiyan strength, and Vegeta realizes they finally made it. No longer do they have to live in Frieza's shadow. Every obstacle to the Saiyans is gone, although there is one more loose end. Turles. He makes it clear, he's not their enemy. But the Saiyans say he doesn't need to be a stranger to them. He clearly is conflicted. And he may be an evil Saiyan by blood, but he doesn't have to be like Cumber was. He could join them in their new Saiyan empire. What do they mean? All the Saiyans are gone. It's just the small group of Saiyans. Well, not exactly. Bardock's family returns to Namek, and they make a wish from the Dragon Balls. They ask for Planet Vegeta to be restored. Now they need to figure out what to do to actually revive all of the Saiyans, because a wish like this can't be done. They've been dead for so long, and Namek's Dragon Balls haven't actually been upgraded either. What dragon can grant a wish that brings back a group of people that have been dead for a while? Well, Vegeta, Turles, and Nappa have that covered. Oddly enough, the dragon on planet Cereal is pretty strong. I mean, we saw what it was capable of in the Granola arc. Taranba was able to make Granola the universe's strongest. So I think reviving a group of people that have been dead for many years, that shouldn't be a big issue for him. So after Planet Vegeta is brought back, a wish is made to Taranba to bring all of the Saiyans back as well. At least all of the good ones. Saiyan society could finally live in peace once more, and they're now free from Frieza's oppression. Of course, one of the people brought back is King Vegeta. He can't believe it. He's been dead for a while, but now he's back in the living world. Back on his normal planet, surrounded by all of his fellow Saiyans. Another wish was made on Namek to actually send all the Saiyans here because some of them died on planets that were far away, and now every Saiyan is back on this planet. And King Vegeta finally reunites with his son. He can't express how proud he is, but he's also disappointed. He didn't get to see his sons grow into the fine warriors they are today. But at the very least, he could watch them usher in a new era of Saiyan society. Vegeta IV will still lead the Saiyans, and he's no longer going to be the prince. Officially, King Vegeta III passes on his title to Vegeta IV, making his son the new king of the Saiyans. Shallot and Giblet still stay with Beerus and Whis because Beerus is intrigued by them. Sure, there are plenty of other strong Saiyans, but Beerus wants to test them a little bit more. And while most of the Saiyans did return to this planet, some of them still do visit their old homes. Like Vegeta, Turles, and Nappa, they visit Cereal from time to time. Bardock's family, they visit Namek from time to time. And one permanently relocates somewhere else, Kakarot. In his time on Earth, he actually grew a lot closer with Chi-Chi. And it's perfect timing too. After the defeat of Frieza and Cumber, now he can live a peaceful life here, and he even has a kid too. The first hybrid Saiyan ever born. Although he's not going to be named Gohan, because he doesn't know who Grandpa Gohan is, so he'd either give Gohan a Saiyan name, or maybe even just name him after Bardock or something. Unless Chi-Chi gets her say and decides to name him something crazy like Einstein or whatever. Let's hope Kakarot gets to choose the name. And as for Turles, he returns to Planet Vegeta. He has the power of an evil Saiyan, but that doesn't need to define him. He'll continue to grow and prosper. And you know, maybe he needs to get a set of those Dragon Balls for himself to make up for all the planets he's destroyed. It is a long process. Turles doesn't just become good overnight. But slowly and surely, the Saiyans around him who gave him a second chance, they're able to mold him into something new. Just like the Saiyans were able to take their bad situation before and mold it into something brand new, bringing back Saiyan society and starting a brand new chapter. When Frieza destroyed Planet Vegeta, that wasn't the end. Rather, it was the beginning of a new era of Saiyans. Although, this isn't just a new beginning for Universe 7 Saiyans. Of course, after all their time with Beerus, Shallot and Giblet by now know about the other universes, and the other Saiyans do too. And it makes them curious. Do Saiyans exist elsewhere? Well, yeah. In Universe 6, which is a twin universe to Universe 7, apparently there is a planet of Saiyans. Champa does visit Beerus one day, and comes to learn how strong the Saiyans in this universe are, even after what they went through. And it makes him wonder, could he find a rival like that in his universe? Well, there's only one way to find out. Champa tries to get the Super Dragon Balls here, but says he'll give up on that as long as the Saiyans in his universe grow stronger from the Saiyans in Beerus' universe. So, a couple Saiyans are sent out, Shallot and Giblet, who are descendants of the Super Saiyan God, as well as the two Vegetas, the former and current ruler of the Saiyans now. They would definitely want to meet King Sadala and the rest of the Saiyans there. The two Vegetas meet King Sadala, as well as some of the other top Saiyans in Universe 6. But amidst their meeting, Vegeta comes across one of the elite soldiers. He looks surprisingly young, but apparently he's one of the stronger Saiyans here. His name's Cabba, and maybe he could use this Saiyan as a perfect example. If they want to grow stronger, Vegeta is going to have to know where they stand right now after all. And Cabba says it would be an honor to accept. He can't believe the king of the Saiyans in another universe is taking interest in him. Something about him draws Vegeta to him. And the former King Vegeta converses with King Sadala, watching this battle unfold. Universe 6 Saiyans are pretty strong even just in their base, but they know nothing about Super Saiyan or any of the God forms for that matter. They spend hours talking about the history of each of their universes, while Vegeta spars with Cabba and some of the other Saiyans here. Shallot and Giblet of course join too, and explain more about their origins. This is a really fun experience, and Vegeta would definitely love to come back here. Although, he does have a lot on his plate because now he's the king of the Saiyans in Universe 7, and he has a lot to manage there, especially since they just came back to life. So it might not be for a while, but he definitely does want to come back here. After all, these are Saiyans. He might be from another universe and another planet Sadala, but still. In Vegeta's eyes, they're all connected. He sees the potential in every Saiyan, not just in his universe, but the entire multiverse. He does have to focus on his own for now. But he would love to come back here, especially to see how much the other Saiyans have grown. Next time he comes here, he's going to fight Cabba first, and he tells Cabba he better have Super Saiyan. He pays his respects to King Sadala, and says he's just as welcome to visit Planet Vegeta in Universe 7 if he ever wants to. He hopes to see them all soon, but for now, he has to tend to his planet. To think there's even more Saiyans out there than he realized. It's quite the revelation. As Planet Vegeta begins to prosper again under Vegeta's guidance, Vegeta the Fourth that is, this is where we end our story. What did you guys think about this scenario as a whole? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, thanks for supporting the scenario all the way through, and I'll see you all in my next video.